The following podcast is a Country Mompreneur production.
Welcome to She Can and She Will. I'm Marianne, also known as the Country Mompreneur, and I'm joined by my co-host, Disa McAllister. We are moms, work-from-home experts, and we love helping women take control of their lives and see all the possibilities. On this show, you will learn from us as well as other women who kick butt in their lives and want to help you do the same. So sit back and get ready for some fun. Welcome back to She Can and She Will. We're being joined today by Mariana Santos of Brazily Fitness.
Yes.
Co-founder and CEO. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm excited to be here.
Us too. So can you start just by telling us a little bit about your journey to where you got to today?
Yeah. So, I've been a personal trainer and fitness instructor for about 19 years. But we really have to rewind way back to when I was a teenager, because I was that teenager who hated gym class and I was super shy, self-conscious. And when I was about 14, my dad got a job in São Paulo, Brazil. So I had to move there and, had to learn Portuguese. I had to finish high school in Portuguese. My parents are Brazilian, but I never spoke Portuguese at home. So it was quite the culture shock and just adapting to, new culture, new language, making new friends, and everything was very challenging. But I was also introduced to Brazilian music and dance and just fitness classes. And before, I hated gym class because I thought that, the only way to be active was to play sports. And I was like, there are other ways that I can move my body and get healthy, right? So I just fell in love with everything, and it really propelled me to my career in fitness. So I came back to Canada, went into college, and started working as a personal trainer and fitness instructor pretty much right away at 18. And then when I was 25, I ended up moving back to Brazil by myself. And because I really, was over the winters here in Canada. And I was like, you know what? You only live once. Those crazy things you do when you're only 25. And so I ended up moving to Brazil again. I got, more involved in the culture. At that point, it was my decision. So my mindset was completely different. And I also met my husband through one of his dance classes. So we really connected through dance. And so it's been about 5 years that I brought him to live in the cold here with me. And now it's our mission to share our passion for Brazilian music and dance with the rest of the world.
Oh, that is really amazing that you could do that. Can you go a little bit deeper? How has dance affected your life, and why did you want to share that?
Yeah. So I think it affected all areas of my life, and especially in boosting confidence, right? And I think that people don't realize how much confidence you need to live a fulfilling life, to really be able to chase your dreams, right? Because even this dream of mine, Brazily Fitness, it's a big project. And, I imagine us having, hundreds of instructors teaching all over the world and everything. And to be honest, when I first started having this calling about 5 years ago, I was like, okay, God, I know this is what you want me to do, but how? With what money? With what resources? So I put it off for a bit. I was like, no, it's too big. It's too scary. And I didn't actually go for it until about a year and a half ago. And, I don't think I would have the courage to chase my dreams if I hadn't started dancing when I was a teenager at 14, So sometimes I think that especially in the fitness industry, there's too much emphasis on how many calories you can burn in a dance class, when really the most important thing is how it can change your life, how it can boost your confidence so that you build up the courage to chase your dreams and love your life. So that to me is the most important thing.
So you're inspired by dance. Is that what inspired you to start this whole Brazily Fitness program?
Yeah. So our first program is the Brazily Dance program. So it is a dance fitness program using all the hottest Brazilian music and moves. And the formula is set up in a way to really focus on confidence building. And in my opinion, and I think it's been studied several times, that the best way to boost confidence is to do hard things, right? So it's not the way that it's set up is there are some songs that are a little bit easier to follow. And there are some tracks in there purposely designed to challenge you, to make you think a little bit so that you progress from class to class and you learn to focus on the journey and not just the destination. And you allow yourself to make mistakes. You laugh them off. You freestyle when you need to, and it's just about you allowing yourself to grow and step out of your comfort zone. So it's really a cool, thing that we see like with our participants, because like sometimes we think, but we also like stop and we preview some of the moves to take away that fear, right? And we've had people tell us that even though the choreography is a little bit more complex, they feel like our classes are less intimidating because we take the time to preview and we cue, and we really create an environment where everyone's just learning together, right? So it makes it a big difference.
Nice. Why specifically like now? Why do you think people need dance now more than ever?
A few reasons. So first of all, like since the pandemic, I think that we need social connection more than ever. Like and there's such an amazing thing that happens when you're dancing in a room full of people that, are all on similar journeys and you're working together. I think that that's so important. Like people just need to connect with each other, more, these days. And we're social creatures. Like, so we need to be putting ourselves like purposely in these situations where we are able to connect with other people. And another thing too is like my biggest thing right now is, teaching people, like reminding people about, the benefits of delayed gratification and not just focusing on instant gratification, because right now with technology and, everything is so much easier for us than it used to be. But also along with that, we're seeing anxiety levels have risen, like stress levels are on the rise. Like, and people are just not happy, even though life is easier, right? And really what people need to be reminded of is like, you shouldn't be running away from your challenges. You should be learning skills to face your challenges head on, right? And I think that dance is a way to remind yourself of your potential. Like just because it's hard the first time doesn't mean it'll be hard like every single time, right? You just have to give yourself a chance to keep going and show yourself grace. Like there's no reason why you need to feel like you have to get everything down the first time, that's the least important part of it.
So can you tell us a little bit more about Brazily Fitness? Is it in person, virtual? Is it single people, groups? Can beginners that have never danced before join?
Yeah.
Yeah. So right now we're doing in person, but we also do virtual. But it's a course. So we certify instructors, to take our programming and teach to their community. So they can teach either at their local gym or a dance studio. They can, teach online if they want. There are a lot of options. They can even teach like at a park or anything, right? So really we give them the tools to start their own business using, our methodology. So you can do it anywhere, but like it is a very new program, right? We just launched a few months ago. So we have some instructors in training. But it is a dance fitness class. So it's not in pairs or anything like that. It's like you burn calories and you have fun. But the most important thing is that you're progressing from class to class and you're having a good time with it. So anyone can do it because like the way that the instructors are being trained is to preview. So like we have like a mix, like I said, of easier to follow songs and some songs that are a little bit more complex. But for those songs, which we call the level 2 tracks, we take a pause before the song and we'd be like, hey, like for example, this chorus is a little bit more challenging. So like, let's do it together before the song starts. And then you go over it a couple of times and then, okay, let's do it with the music, and it kind of blends like dance studio style classes with, more, traditional dance fitness classes. So it's a really, interesting blend.
So you're certifying instructors. So
yeah.
On your website, will people be able to go on there and see a list of like people that are certified so they know who's near them to take a class?
Yes, exactly. So that's the plan. Like right now, like I said, we just launched, so we still have the instructors are still going through the training. And obviously we're looking for more, right? So that we can offer more and more classes all over the world. But yes, eventually there will be like a database, like where you can put in like, hey, I live in New York, for example, like what's the closest instructor to me? So yeah, that's all in the works.
That's
awesome. That is really cool. Okay. Well, and we're certainly going to put as much as we can in the show notes for people to reach out and find you.
Perfect.
But yeah, so we ask this, we usually close the session out with this question. What is one tip that you would give people to inspire them today to get motivated on whatever journey they are on, regardless of where they're starting?
So I think it's like, first of all, get very clear on why you want what you want. Like, I think that's a big thing. Like, I think sometimes people don't go deep enough on their goals. They have these very superficial goals. Like, and I mean, I've heard it for years as a trainer, like people come to me, I'm like, I want to lose weight. It's like, okay, but why do you want to lose weight? Like, what's the deeper reason for that? Right. And it's usually something much stronger. Like, I want to, feel more comfortable with my husband and like, for that to not affect our intimacy, or like, I want to be able to get on the floor and play with my kids. And I'm worried that I'm not going to have the energy to play with them. Like there's something that really affects your life. And that's why losing the weight is important. And people don't do that deep inner work to figure out the real why behind their goals. So I think that that's a big, big thing. And also just like, having faith in yourself, believe in yourself and your ability to do big things, right? And find a support system, to just remind yourself, like when things get tough, because they will get tough, and expect them to get tough. And just make sure that you surround yourself with the right people that will keep you going on the hard days.
Awesome. Well, Mariana Santos, thank you so much for joining us today.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for listening. She Can and She Will is a Country Mompreneur production. Audio mix by Marianne. Research by Disa McAllister. To learn more about this and other Country Mompreneur productions, visit thecountrymompreneur.com.